Welcome, everybody, to the Oversalt Bronze Diamond Grand Finals. That's right, it's your boy, George Overwatch. We are back and better than ever, and with shorter hair this time, mind you. And joining me at my side, my co-caster, my boy, Rocky. How's it going, mate?
Thank you, George, for introducing me. It's going very well. How's it going with you?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Excited for this match. Arcane Radon versus Eternity Esports Amethyst. I'm presuming on Dorado as well. And now it brings me to the interest on Dorado. You can see a lot of wacky comps, especially with the Reinhardt ban. So what do you think is going to be turning out?
I think we're going to see a lot of Echo today, probably, with the new release of her. And probably a bit of Sigma and Orisa, maybe, depending on how the teams like to run with the double tank.
Yes, of course. 2 shields is better than 1, am I right?
Sometimes.
Yeah, we'll say sometime. I've got a coach that's a big fan of double shields. He'll quite like to see some of that, but we're not here for that. We're here just for some raw game. And let's see. It looks like that Eternity Amethyst maybe just kind of picking around in the attack spawn. However, Arcane Radon going for the double shield with the double sky DPS comp with Toxin on that Echo and Blue Dog on that Pharah with the Mercy to support that as well. You've got the Anna as well for the range healing and your box standard double shield tank line. So I wonder what actually Amethyst is going to actually roll out on to try and give this a counter.
Yeah, right now you look at Amethyst's comp with the May and Doomfist. See them getting quite heavily countered here, but although the D.Va is a huge counter to the Pharah and Echo.
Yes, of course, and if they can just stay here bunkered up on the point like that and ignore those DPS, not take any damage whatsoever, they might be able to deal with this something here. Having no hit scan presence, it's going to be quite hard for them to actually deal any damage. You see Blue Dog there picking up Cypher right at the start of the fight, and that's going to be very advantageous there for Arcane Radon. And as they continue with the defense here, and Serena goes down as well. So it looks like back to spawn for Amethyst, and they're going to have to rethink the decisions a little bit.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. As soon as you lose that first team, as soon as you lose the first pick, it's only going to be downhill from there.
Yes, of course, especially on this Dorado first point, where that defending team can just stick in that little choke and hold it. And if your DPS can't do anything about that, and your tanks get through there, you're not going to be able to do much at all. We see already Echo and Serena, due to Toxin on the Echo raining down from above, they're both already on low HP, forcing them to get healed back up. But that's more ult charge for the healers, eh? And now, however, they're kind of giving them a little bit of space for Arcane Radon, just getting pulled about in here. Skardex coming up with the coalescence here is going to use it. However, Toxin duplicates that D.Va. Blue Dog again with nice clean dive onto Ace there. Follow-ups with the barrage onto Echo. Twee Apollo falls, and let's see how that affects Arcane Radon. D.Va Bomb's going to come out from Toxin as well. Manages to find 2. What a huge D.Va Bomb there from Toxin on the Echo. And he's back to spawn for Arcane Radon once again.
Arcane Radon there, just getting destroyed there with the Echo ult, then the Pharah ult, and then the D.Va ult. It's quite unlucky.
It's quite unlucky indeed, and you can see them just flittling around those DPS picks in spawn. Blue Dog actually manages to find that environmental stagger onto Nivs, which is quite unlucky. I don't really see what the Reaper's going to bring into this comp. Of course, you can shred the tanks, but now you're forcing Cypher on the Torbjorn to deal with all this damage that's going to come in from the air. So your only real option here will be to push aggressive if you're a Amethyst here. But that's not what they're doing, though. They're just kind of meddling around in the choke, just getting spammed down by Blue Dog. And I reckon Arcane Radon is just going to want to keep it like this. Echo's coming up with that sound barrier. I suspect he's going to use it with this Gravitic Flux from Twee Apollo there. TCG manages to get A's there. And the barrage, another barrage coming there from Blue Dog. Doesn't manage to find anything. Well, still like a quick trade as well. Blue Dog goes down actually to Cypher. Also, the self-destruct coming in, manages to find Zold Zero. Now, they're using a lot of ultimates here at Arcane Radon with the supercharger coming out as well, and the coalescence. You just used all your ultimates if you're Amethyst, and now it questions me, like, what are you going to do on your next push?
Yeah, they've got they've just used Bongo as well, so that's literally every single ult they have. The Reaper's going to take a long time to probably charge up his ult with the Echo and the Pharaoh. Although gets the Pharaoh was quite an important early pick for them here.
It's a nice play from Ace there, just grabbing onto that high ground, just denying one of the DPS any space. They're going to have to watch for that resurrect though, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're sort of denying them any setup here by Amethyst just sitting on this high ground with Nivs on that Diva, and he's doing like he's doing a sterling job of it, I must say. He has to drop down though for those two air DPS once again, just span them out. Blue Dog with a nasty shot damage boost onto Ace there. Managed at the moment, and Amethyst, you're gonna have to think something up quick. You don't want Blue Dog to just be raining down on you all this time like this.
It's literally just they've just let Toxin and the whole team over and over again with no real way to deal with them. I especially think the Reaper pick is the complete wrong pick to go with here.
I suppose it could be a good pick, but they're not playing it correctly. They need to be going much more aggressive, like they are doing now. You see the nade coming out there as well. Cypher manages to deny Blue Dog the full value of that barrage there. It was a very good play there from Cypher. And Arcane Radon just going to be forcing back. However, they're holding that corner nice and good and strong. Cypher's going to come in with a molten core there. Manages to force them back even more, and they're going to take all the space in the world here. Forces Proxy to pop the Valkyrie as well, and TTC goes down. Oh, that's not good if you're Arcane Radon. And they're perfectly set up to take this point around Amethyst. They don't quite make it there because Blue Dog is managing to rain down on the backline. Proxy manages to find that resurrect. Ace coming in with Toxic coming in with a death blossom. I say it's confusing with these duplicates. Hey, manages to actually force Amethyst back. However, Ace is still in the backline here.
It's a huge one fight for them here because both teams used quite a lot of ults in it, and if they they used the Tor ult, the Moira ult, and then also, but then however Blue Dog wasting his barrage much earlier into the fight, and both support ults and both DPS ults, although Blue Dog should get his barrage back quite quickly.
Of course he should, but however, take a look at Ace here. Ace is doing exactly what he should be doing, just taking that fight with the Anna early. However, self-destruct from Nivs doesn't manage to find him, but they're going to capitalize on that space made. Blue Dog does not care. He does not care. Ace doesn't care even less. Manages to find 3 with that Death Blossom. That's a huge pick. Twee Apollo tries to counter with that Gravitic Flux. Doesn't manage to get it off in time, though, and they're going to capture this point by the skin of their teeth, might I add.
Yeah, it's a huge win for them there, because if they lost that, there's no chance of them getting second point. There wasn't going to be enough time, and by the time it started, Blue Dog would have had his ult, they would have had Bongo and another Nano.
Of course, speaking of bongos as well, Serena coming up to that, also TCG. However, look at the ult economy on both sides, largely similar. This is going to be a very ult-heavy fight, I can tell, and it looks like both teams are ready to prepare for that. Cypher actually not managed to set up one turret, and that's how both these sky-based DPS are getting so much value. We see Toxin on the Mei to try and get some wall utility in. Lord Zelron capitalizing it there. Blue Dog managed to find nothing with Barrage except his own death. But it doesn't really matter because Arcane Radon is just going to win this fight anyway.
They used the Pharaoh and Bongo in that fight. However, both teams used the Bongo. And at the moment, they don't either team doesn't have many ults. They only have their Nano and no real ults coming back. And then on the other side, they only have the Sambo, but they're close to a Diva Bomb, what could be the deciding factor.
Yes, it could. But look how much more brawl Arcane Radon has now. Like, this is much more of an even fight as well, especially with those 2 double shields. And you've also got the Mirror Reef from both DPS, and they're just playing it so well. And it might make Nevs want to consider to switch off the Diva pick here.
Yeah, the Diva... overall, the Reaper, it went okayly, but they probably should have maybe switched over to just something to deal with the Echo and Pharaoh, because they're just getting so much space. Although now they have switched over to the Reaper or Mei, but the damage was already done in that early stages of the fight. Now approaching the last fight of this round.
Yeah, 10 seconds, less than 10 seconds remaining. Managed to get that control of the cart. Echo does have the sound barrier, and he's going to need to use it quite productively here, as it's not got far until that point's captured, and it could be a life or death situation. Here comes the gravitic flux from Twee Apollo. Sound barrier forced to be used from Echo. Escardax managed to come up to that Colorescence, but Cypher with a clutch pick there onto TGC. Toxin's mail, though, is quite large indeed. Manages to freeze up that cart presence, but Amethyst are still rolling through here. They're still getting all that cart contestation. Twee Apollo managed to try and get a last-ditch stall effort. But is that really what you want here? They're still going to push this car all the way to the end here by the looks of things. However, someone's on the car, and it is TGC on that Wrecking Ball. Just managed to get that last stall out. The Immortality Field, great Immortality Field there from Lord Zelron, I must say. Even though if he does fall down, that was a good effort from him. Blue Dog coming in on the Reaper as well. Aze manages to win that duel. Twee Apollo coming in on the Monkey. Doesn't actually manage to find that stall for much longer. Only 2 meters to go, and that is it. And Eternity Esports Amethyst managed to take that by the skin of their teeth. Overtime at the end. And let's see what Arcane Radon can do on the offense.
Certainly, I just think it now depends on how well they defend. Because the pressure's on them now. As they're only going to, if this game does go to another round, they're going to only have 1 minute on the clock, depending on how well they hold it. And it's going to be an interesting battle here to see if they can, say if the Pharah Echo comp is run again, to see how they deal with it.
Yes, of course. I might suspect a dive comp actually from Arcane Radon. It doesn't look like they're going to do it, but a dive comp wouldn't hurt in this situation, because you can see that Amethyst are maybe shying away from the Echo a little bit, and it's so they're not going to suspect it on this next push. So why not just go a little bit of a dive comp? I mean, it's not a good idea anymore because we can see they're on Doom Top, but I'd like to see some dive. But they're again going with these double shield and two like spam heavy flying DPS line with Blue Dog on that Pharah and Toxin on that Echo, and they've already struggled to deal with once before, and especially on Doom Torb, you've only got the Torb that can really do out with that. So it's going to be very difficult. But however, the gate's about to open, just going to force car. Ace gets spotted immediately by Toxin, forced back. And they're just going to take the spam battle from here. Niv's on that Diva again. He's going to not be able to take as much spam as Arcane Radon with those two shields, with the Sigma and the Orisa. And they've already got no shields already. And as a result, Toxin managing to just jump straight on them. And Blue Dog as well. They just managed to find a clean 4K between the two of them. And it looks like that the Amethyst are going to have to rethink their defense a little bit.
Yeah, as we've seen that they have shown a lot of weaknesses to the Echo Pharah composition. With just the Diva isn't the pick here. She just can't deal with the spam damage that's coming into them. They need to run probably a double shield here and a Tracer maybe perhaps just to deal with this Echo Pharah composition.
Yes, of course. And what I might add as well is they're just standing there and taking it. They're not even aggression about them. And look at how aggressive the Arcane Radon are being. They're just getting straight up in their faces, and they know they're going to win this spam battle every time. So they're just going to take that aggressive push, because they know that they can just do it. Cypher, however, manages to get the turret kill onto Toxin, but they do trade with Blue Dog and Ace. So forces them back a little bit, but you're still going to have to be careful here, because Nivs is low and out of mech. Manages to still find that Blue Dog. However, the res...
It's just once again, they get one pick, but they just don't have the ability to take advantage of that. As they lost the first DPS quite early with Hanzo, what's their, you could say, projectile DPS right now. They're just getting no space at all, no time, no space. They just can't deal with the pressure right now of that.
Yeah, especially with that sound barrier coming in as well, and with Blue Dog on the barrage, it's just going to make things a whole lot worse for Amethyst here. Not going to manage to contest this point very much at all. It's only the turret to deal with. going onto this last push here. Blue Dog's already going to get that advantageous spam onto those DPS there. Cypher manages to find him, maybe a little bit of an overextend. Toxin is ready to capitalize on those low targets. Manages to find 3, does Toxin, and making space for Proxy to get that res onto Blue Dog. Very nice play.
It's just been like, it's just been the story of the game, honestly. Just over and over again. They've just been destroyed by the spam damage.
But if we do look here, actually, they've got ultimates to play with of Amethyst here, and they're going to use 2 of them straight off the bat. That Bongo Coalescence is going to do a lot more damage than one would expect. A's on the Soldier, managed to capitalize on that damage boost. Blue Dog, again with another barrage. He's been managing to farm those so quickly, and he's just going to make all that space for the rest of them to come up and clean up those low HP targets, what he's left.
They used pretty much every single ult there, and they still couldn't do anything. It just shows how they haven't prepared properly against it to go up against this Para Echo composition.
They have not. Why did they not just stick A's on the Soldier to begin with? They could have just done that, but it's too late for that now. It's too late for that now because they're gonna. It looks like they're going to take it with like 4-ish minutes on the clock, and they sure enough do. With that minute added, 5 minutes and 4 seconds on that time back against that 1 minute overtime grace period. That's just not going to be enough if you're Eternity Esports Amethyst.
Yeah, certainly. And to be fair, this round looks already done and dusted. Like,
I wouldn't be so sure about that. Maybe they could pull a different strat out their sleeve. I'll tell you what, Nib, I know you like to shy away from the Sigma. Why not play the Roadhog? If you play the Roadhog, you've got loads of spam, and D.Va's not going to do much spam pressure. You're just going to lose the spam battle every time. Pick the Roadhog, get the spam, do the damage, get the picks. It doesn't look like that's going to happen though. He's going to go. He might roll out on the Sigma this time, and this could be the answer to all of their problems. It's hyper on that Echo as well. Like they're just trying to mirror this, is what it seems like. Oh, there we go. A's going to switch to that Bastion pick.
The Bastion pick. I don't think the Bastion pick's the right pick here. Going with the, I suppose, in unmobile comp where you see they're just going to get destroyed by the Echo over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. As soon as that Bastion gets set up, Toxin on that Echo's just going to fire a bunch of mines at him. Blue Dog's going to follow up on that. As soon as they have the space, they're just going to capitalize on it, and I don't think it's going to work that well for them. And you can see they've already been spammed out. Ace has already been stunned by one of Twee Apollo's rocks, and it's gonna be very difficult for them to do anything really here, especially with the Skardax falling early due to Toxin. Sorry about that. A's falling there as well due to TCG. Toxin does fall. Do lose a lot of damage there, but Arcane Radon still have the advantage. They have the cart position, and it's going to be very hard to retake with this Bastion comp, especially with only 15-ish seconds left. As they're both resurrects coming out from Proxy and Echo. Both Pharaohs now back in the sky. Sniper going to try and take that duel, but Blue Dog doesn't even care. He's just going to keep spamming down onto those front lines, get that damage in. And Nivs and Skardax already falls. I was going to say he was already low, but you can see here, Sniper's going to really try and get that Sky Jewel, but it's not going to work for him because Toxin's just there to help every single time. And because of this, the front line is just getting destroyed by the massive amount of Twee Apollo spam damage. There's the barrage for good measure coming out from Blue Dog. And it's going to be very tough to hold this. It's possible, but it's going to be very tough indeed.
Score 3-3. Switching sides. Initiating match.
Let's see. So what do you think that Eternity Esports Amethyst could actually do to maybe hold this?
Well, they see in the room near the spawn, they can maybe run the Bastion in there and go with a super heavy bunker composition with like Mercy, Lucio, Bastion, Torbjorn and then Orisa and Sigma in the tiny room on the left of the payload, and just when it goes past, just spam them down, and just hope for the best, because that's the only option they really have right now.
However, they might have been listening to, they might have been bugged into the system because Nivs has managed to roll out on that Roadhog. With the Bap and the Zenyatta Torb Ash, that is a lot of spam damage. A lot of spam damage. Those double flying DPS are going to have a very, very tough time to try and take against this comp. You've got a Skardax on that Zenyatta, spamming out the Echo and the Pharah. A's to try and find those precise picks on the Mercy. Even Cypher with the turret to just automatically do everything. You've got a lot of spam here if you're double E. With Serena dropping early, I don't know if that was a mistake or what, but that's a very grave mistake, might I add, and it's forcing everyone back with the lack of shield. And Toxins managed to capitalize on Serena dropping early, manages to make it fall. Blue Dog as well, raining down on a Skardax, and they've just not done this very well, have they? And I feel sorry for you, Amethyst, because that was really unfortunate. But I'm gonna have to give it to Arcane Radon. And 1-0 to them, and we're gonna have to move on to the next one. So good effort there from Eternity Esports Amethyst, but in the end, it's 1-0.
Play of the game.
Here's another one of those greasy plays from Blue Dog. I believe this is when they went right at the start here, got that cheeky little 4K.
And like, it just showed the problems, just summed up the game in that few seconds there, just how they just got dominated straight away from Blue Dog there, and Toxin. But overall, the Mercy plays were very, very good. Like, it may seem like unimportant, no skill, but I think the Mercy was such an important part of that game, of how they kept their both Echo and the Pharah alive, and then the Ana, and overall, just from everyone, just an amazing performance from Arcane.
Yes, exactly. And one thing I would like to talk about is you saw from that little play of the game just there, Blue Dog just managed to notice the pull coming out from what's it called, TGC, and fired straight into that pull. Like, the combo there was just impeccable, and you can't take that away from Arcane Radon. Amethyst could have been playing very well indeed, but if you've got combos like that on the side of Arcane Radon, how do you win?
Exactly.
And I think we're going to move to a small break here, so we'll catch you guys in a bit with the second round.
Yep.
Welcome your faces back to the Oversalt Bronze 2 Diamond Grand Finals. Where we left off, it was 1-0 to Arcane Radon with the match on Radon. Very good effort from Amethyst over here. But we are back and better than ever. As we always say, fresh start for me. Joined by me is Rocky once again, but you know that because we left off. And Hanamura, what do you think is going to happen here, mate?
Well, it's either going to be, we're either going to see what we saw last time, where it's just a complete stomp from Arcane, or you never know, we might see something from Amethyst, an unexpected change, or they might just actually realize what they're going to do, because it's so predictable what they're going to do, but they weren't stopping it. Yes,
of course. However, they could just stick to what they know, like this. They're just going with the Orisa Diva, which is what it looks like. They're in the attacking spawn, so they could make a few swaps. And again, they're going with this Pharah Echo composition, double DPS in the sky. So what my problem with the composition that Arcane Radon have is that if Eternal Esports Amethyst just decide to go aggressive, nothing they can really do if they move as a unit. However, 10 seconds remain. They're going with Nivs on the Orisa this time, so like that makes me wonder. Maybe they've just had a little moment where they need to run the Sigma. Serena on that Sigma might do a little bit bits. Oh, Blue Dog with already two picks.
It's the same story as last time, just straight away 2 picks.
You can't run the Zen Bap like that. You're just gonna get dived by the Pharah. At least not on attack.
I don't think they should, like, at this level, no disrespect to any of them, but they really shouldn't run the Zan. Because because they're not going to, like, with the way it looks, they're not going to be able to do enough healing, and they're not going to, I doubt they'll be able to do enough damage where they can carry, and it's already the Pharah ult. Wow.
Yeah, so going back there, it looks like they need the Lucio here. 100%. They need to just get the Lucio. There it goes. Echo on that Lucio. Nice enough pick. They're going back to the Orisa Diva, which might work for them this time. You never know. And going back to that Torb and that Reaper pick, of course. And they just need to run in. And I think that they realize that, which is exactly what they're doing now. They're just making a break for it straight to point. Toxin, that unlucky pick there onto Serena, just caught her off guard there. And Blue Dog, once again, 3k onto that Pharah. But they got the right idea, though, of Amethyst. They just need to move in more aggressive, because they took way more space than they would have.
Yeah, but it's just, once again, they just track under the pressure. Like, it's just, we've seen it over and over again now. They just completely collapsing as soon as they see Pharah and Toxin. It's just 1 pick, 2 picks, 3 picks. And now, once again, this, I think, the second Pharah, and they get the Reaper early on again. It's a 5v6 once again.
See, here's the problem. Niv's already split off from his team. Very, very early indeed. Toxin, huge Reaper, like, good for you, mate. Nivs, you need to stay with your team and matrix that Pharah rockets. Don't try and fight the Sigma. That's not going to be any good for you there, mate. Like, just a little tip from me. But I don't know. Maybe we can improve the play one day. But this game is still winnable. All is not lost. We're going to see A's on that Pharah. Maybe try and get a little cheeky dual Cypher on the Echo as well. It's going to shake up the ult advantage a little bit here, though, which is why I'm kind of not a fan of this. However, they've got to do what they've got to do. You see Proxy going to come up to this Valkyrie and Blue Dog with another barrage. So they're going to have to think on their feet here. A's with that beautiful, beautiful pick onto Blue Dog, negating that barrage. Now, all they need to do is just get rid of that resurrect ability there from Proxy. And manages to pop the Valkyrie. Here comes the Gravitic Flux from to Apollo. Toxin manages to capitalize on that damage. A's with another 2, though. And he's still in this fight, maybe. It's only A's left. He managed to go down because Echo goes for the res. And with both those support heroes there, you're not going to win when Arcane's got all these people on the field.
It's like, I don't know what to say, honestly. Like, it's just been the same thing happening every every team fight. One team would go it. Well, Arcane would defend perfectly. Toxin and Blue Dog would just constantly destroy the. Oh, no.
See, I don't even know what to say about this. That was just huge. Like 10 seconds remaining. Let's see if they can actually make something happen here. Serena, are you going to make it on? Serena doesn't even make it onto the point there, which is extremely unfortunate. Cypher there needs to touch. Cypher actually manages to get that touch off. Maybe he can grab a cheeky tick off of there. He jumps off though, which isn't what he needs to be doing. Manages to bounce around the bell a little bit. Manages to go down though. And it doesn't look like they're going to be able to touch again. And it's going to be very, very tough for Amethyst to defend this. And it's going to end in a draw, more than likely.
It's just, I just feel like I'm repeating myself. It's the same odd problems. They just can't deal with the pressure of the Pharah and Deco.
I think what they really need to do here is Nivs step up your game a little bit, mate. And I think if you just did that just a tiny little bit, and I know you can do this, just stay with your team, a little bit of Matrix on them fire rockets, and just walk in. You got 2 DPS in the sky, 4v6 onto the ground. And this is definitely winnable for Eternity Esports Amethyst. However, Arcane Radon are just capitalizing on the mistakes that they're making too well. So what needs to happen for Amethyst here? You just need they just really need to put their ideas up. Say, right, we're just gonna pop off. It's possible. I know they can pop off. You just need to go and do it. Stop thinking about popping off and popping off.
Like, the thing is with Arcane, like they've done extremely well, but there's times where it's just a 3v6 on the floor. They just need to be. Maybe if Amethyst could have coordinated their attacks much better, then we could be talking about a much different game here, where Amethyst are in complete control.
Yes, of course. Let's see what they roll out on again with this double sky DPS. They just know what they're weak against now, but they're gonna mirror it this time. And A's, we saw him do well on that Pharah that time, so let's see if he can replicate that. We see Nibs on the Orisa, Serena on the Sigma as well, so maybe that tank line is what they need here as well. A's losing a little bit of verticality there. He's going to try and spam at Twee Apollo, but he's got that kinetic grasp right up. No problems for him. No shields there. Escardax, very good pick onto Toxin there with Baptiste, hit scan primary fire. But Blue Dog, other ideas, manages to get that trade off. And he manages to get Echo as well, right as he goes for the res. And it's not looking good here for Eternity Esports Amethyst, because Blue Dog, he's just running free. That's 4 for him now, and this is just ridiculous. Proxy just manages to pull out the Glock and pump Serena with it there. But well done to Arcane Radon there. You are the champions of the Oversalt Bronze Diamond Grand Finals week. I don't know what week it is. It doesn't matter. You win, boys. GG. Very well played as well. The Eternity Esports Amethyst. There's always next time for you. I know you can do it, mate.
Yeah, there's this new comp of Echo Pharah with teams still trying to adapt to it, and as you saw today, they just couldn't deal with it. And with an amazing performance from Blue Dog and Toxin, just absolutely terrific.
Yeah, so terrific play from Arcane Radon and Eternity Esports Amethyst, A star for effort. But anyways, thank you everybody for watching. I have been George Evans at George Overwatch on Twitter, that is. And joining me has been Rocky. And we will see you next time in the next Oversalt tournament. Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.